This one is my absolute favorite. In the due diligence process, both parties need to do this exercise. It might be difficult for you to do it on your own. Find somebody that knows you well, somebody that really can give you robust feedback and honest feedback, somebody that can speak truth into your life to help you through this exercise. Both parties need to do it independently and then share what the outcomes of the feedback that they got in this exercise. I call this exercise the 12 W's. I'll give you a few of them, but you'll get the picture. The first W that you need to check in yourself and your partner needs to check in themselves is wisdom. When you've been sitting with your partner during the courtship period, just having a conversation on a Sunday afternoon, when you walk away from that conversation, can you say what wisdom you picked up from the conversation? Do you grow when you have conversations with your partner? Do you have greater revelation of your own self and of your life when you have a conversation with your partner? Or do you spend time talking about clothes, talking about people, talking about events? Is there any depth to this person that you're going to spend your life with? Do you walk away and say, if my partner had not said this to me, I probably would have fallen into a hole, and I thank the Lord for my partner because they've opened my eyes. Wisdom is the principal thing. Wisdom will guide you. And if you are yoked with an unwise partner, your life will become unwise. The second W that you need to look at is words. What words come out of your partner's mouth? Do they use words that build up, or do they use words that tear down? Do they use words that edify and that beautify life and that glorify? Or do they use words that demonize? Words that gossip, words that tear down the character of other people? Do they use words that are full of hatred, or do they use words that are full of love and that are full of life? Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issue of life. And faith comes by hearing. Faith comes by hearing. What are you hearing out of the mouth of your partner? Does it build up your faith, or does it make you give up? The third thing that you need to check in your partner are the wishes of your partner's heart. When they describe their own life, when they describe the life of both of you together, when they describe the future that they want to build with you, what are the specific wishes that they have for themselves, for you, and for your life together? It is important to know how they see the future and what their deepest wishes are. Because your wishes and their wishes might not be compatible. And you need to know if there's something they wish for that you wish the opposite for. The next thing that you need to check, the next W, this next W is my favorite W. It is called wounds. Everybody carries some wounds in their life. Some people carry physical wounds. They might have been in a car accident and they suffered trauma. Other people carry emotional wounds, psychological wounds, spiritual wounds. A lot of these wounds are not apparent to the naked eye, but believe me, they are there. Maybe you were wounded by your parents and the way that they spoke to you, telling you that you'll amount to nothing, and that has affected your self-esteem. Maybe somebody involved you in witchcraft when you were young, or maybe even when you were old, and now you carry the spiritual wound of knowing that you crossed over onto the dark side. Maybe you were abused emotionally. Maybe you were abused in ways in which cannot be described. Maybe you were sexually abused. Everybody carries some wound, one or the other. And when the two come together as one, you inherit each other's baggage. Your wounds become his wounds. His wounds become your wounds. You need to know what has hurt this person that you love so much. Where are they bleeding on the inside? Because in your relationship, you're going to have to nurse those wounds. You're going to have to help them heal. And in some instances, you're going to have to avoid the wounds, because those wounds, once touched, can open up and change the entire character of a person, which means they can change the entire character of your marriage. Wounds. Know where you are hurting. Know where your partner is hurting. And nurse each other back into strength. The next one that you need to look out for is called wealth. What is the relationship that your partner has with money? Does your partner have the relationship with money where when money comes in, it must just be spent? Go blow it, have a good time. Or is your partner very diligent with money and stingy and tight-fisted, such that even though you have money, your life is actually miserable? Or is your partner measured with money? You know, I asked a couple the one time about what the definition of wealth is. I put each one into a different room. They were using the exact same words, but they meant completely different things. They both agreed that they wanted to be wealthy. But the one thought to be wealthy meant owning a house, 2 cars, children going to good school, going on holiday nationally once a year, and living a good life. The other partner had a completely different view of wealth. They believed that they need to have a house in town, a house in the country, a house in the south of France, a house in Cape Town, that they needed to have access to a private jet, that they needed to live the very high life. You see, at times we use the same words, but we mean completely different things. What is the relationship that your partner has with money? Because money can make or break you. Wealth can make or break a marriage. The next one that you need to look out for is wine. What is the relationship that your partner has with alcohol, with marijuana, with social drugs? Do they drink? Do they smoke? Are they in control of their habits? Or do their habits have control over them? I was dealing with a couple not very long ago. Beautiful couple. Great children. But the husband comes from a line of alcoholics. The woman did not know this. But the drinking of the husband turned into full alcoholism. They started losing things, losing houses, losing their quality of life, freak accidents, all kinds of things happening. You need to know what the relationship your partner has with wine being a metaphor for all kinds of drugs in their life. The other thing that you need to look out for is ways. How does your partner spend their time? Just look at the pattern of their life. You know, I dealt with a couple not very long ago where the man was so attached to his mother that every Saturday he'd go and see his mother in the township. The wife, on the other hand, had other ideas about how to use that time. They believed that on weekends the family needs to spend time together, or at least they need to spend it productively, generating income. But he honestly was a mama's baby. And every weekend he just had to go and spend time with his mother. It frustrated the woman so much, and things started falling apart. I also dealt with another couple where the husband would knock off from work and not go home. He'd knock off from work, go via the pub, have 1 or 2 drinks just to take the edge off, as he said, and then he'd come home. It frustrated the woman. Why would he rush to a pub and not rush home to her? But you see, that was his pattern. He had been a bachelor for a very long time. And he believed that part of enhancing his career is that he needed to go via where the big boys were having a drink, so that he'd maintain his professional visibility. The wife totally disagreed with that, and things fell apart. Know what the ways of your partner are, because their ways will become your ways. I'll give you 2 more W's. Everybody worships something. Everyone. Some worship money. Some worship clothes and fast cars. Some worship their mothers, like this young man I just spoke about. Others worship sex. Everyone worships something. You need to know what authority is over your partner's head. What is it that they will bow down to and leave you hanging? I know a woman, which is very uncharacteristic, who worships money. She just loves money. And if money shows up elsewhere, she will ditch her partner in a heartbeat and go after the money. You need to know what you're competing with, because whatever your partner worships, that is your real competition. Finally, and this one is true, especially here in Africa, witchcraft. What is your partner's relationship with witchcraft? What is your partner's relationship with going to see witch doctors? Using witchcraft? Because whoever your partner is seeing in the dark side of the world becomes part of your challenge. Do you use witchcraft personally? Because if you do, and your partner is in the kingdom of light, how can light and darkness dwell together? How can you be unevenly yoked with a non-believer? These are real things that you need to check out in your partner. Believe me, these things I do not say lightly. You see, when your relationship is new and there's butterflies in your stomach and you feel that life is all about being in love and there's stars all over your eyes, you neglect to deal with the realities of life. But let me tell you, when the music ends at the wedding, when the confetti is cleared from the air, when the flowers begin to droop and wither, and the reality of your relationship kicks in, these are the things you're going to face. Face them now and enter with your eyes wide open.